So here's another thing that can be confusing with quoting your sources. Let's say that you have an author of a source who is quoting somebody else within the source, and you want to use that quote. So you've got kind of two people talking. Here's an example. This is the article, Is Google Making Us Stupid? By Nicholas Carr. So Carr is the author, but within his article, he's quoting other people. So right here we have Clive Thompson, and we have a quote from him. Let's say I want to use that quote, but how am I supposed to cite this? What's my signal phrase going to look like? Well, let's try it out. So I'm going to grab this quote here and paste it into my document. And so he's got his own signal phrase in here, but I don't want to keep it exactly how he has it because I'm quoting Nicholas Carr, who was quoting Clive Thompson. I need to make that clear. So I'm going to take this signal phrase out of the middle of his sentence and kind of combine it into one sentence here. That's the original quote. I'm going to put, so what you do is you put the original speaker in your signal phrase. So in this case, who's the original speaker? Is it Nicholas Carr or Clive Thompson? Who said it first? Well, Thompson did. So I'm going to put him in my signal phrase. Just like that. I need my quotation marks around the author's exact words. And then I'm going to add parentheses at the end with the phrase quoted in Carr. So here, my signal phrase tells the reader who originally said this. My parenthetical citation tells the reader what source it came from. So quoted in Carr, or QTD period in Carr. That way both of them get credit. So let's look at another example. In another case, Social Networks by Neil Gabler. And so he's also going to quote different people within his article. So here we have a quote from somebody named Robert Putnam. So let's say I want to use that quote. So I'm going to include Putnam in my signal phrase, right? Because he's the one who said this. And something to be aware of, notice here when I pasted in the quote, the font changed. And I don't want that to happen. So if you're having that issue, which you likely are, you go to Paste in Microsoft Word and click the arrow here and choose Match Formatting. Or another thing you can do is right-click and then paste Special. And if you have a Windows PC, it's even easier to do this, but you just choose the unformatted text. But actually that didn't work as well because change the font. So this looks like the best way to do it. Again, it's a little different in a Windows PC, but a little easier to do this. There we go. Okay, so now what do I need to do? I've got Robert Putnam in there. Do you remember the next step? I need to add quoted in and the original author. Who wrote this? It wasn't Robert Putnam. It was Neil Gabler. So I'm going to go back. Quoted in Gabler. And this source may have page numbers. No, it doesn't. So it used to be that this source was rendered on 2 different pages. And if that was the case, I would put 1 here to show this was from page 1. But because there's no page numbers in this version, we're going to leave the page number out. So that's how you include a quote within your source by a different author. We're going to put the speaker in the signal phrase and the source author in the parenthetical citation with the phrase quoted in. Notice quoted in is all lowercase and there's a period right here. So that's how you do it. And if you forget how to do this, you can always go to the MLA Frequently Asked Questions page for more guidance.